Good morning all, this is just a quick video to explain some of the features of the mansion brick. So the premium mansion brick is 542 by 270 by 70. What I have here is one full brick, and I also have a brick that's been cut in half. So as you see on the mansion brick, we have these little lugs, spacer lugs. So we have two on the long edge and two on the short edge, and then the other two edges do not have the lug on them. The reason for this lug is to keep the bricks apart during transport and to reduce chipping of the corners. Obviously, being a larger brick, we cover more square meters at a time, so we get one chip on one of these bricks, and we start to have many issues where they cannot be used on a house. So some little quick tips when laying this brick. Obviously, when you're coming to lay up against the window, you can't have these lugs on the brick, or else it will not butt up nice and tight. So there's two things you do. One is you can chip these lugs off, but you will see a little bit of the area that has been chipped at the window edge. So instead of doing that, what we can do is we can spin the whole brick 180 degrees and lay it up to the window this way. Obviously that means that the lugs then go into the mortar joint and are not seen. When we come to the half brick, obviously when we're doing a running bond, when we come to lay the second brick, which would obviously be like yay, you have the issue with the lugs. So what we would recommend there is obviously we use the other end of the brick, the good side with no lugs, and we can butt that up to the window. However, the other option what we do have is we could spin this half of the brick 90 degrees and we have a nice edge. Obviously the laying lugs then become into the mortar joint and they're not seen. So we don't need to throw away the other half of the brick that has lugs on it. We simply spin it 90 degrees. The reason why we can't use the cut edge is obviously it has a different texture once it's been cut. So simply flick that up, put that into the mortar joint where it won't be seen, and you have the same texture as the brick below. Other areas we can use up this other half brick with lugs on it if we're butting into a corner. So for example, if this was going to be an internal corner, we could lay this brick into here, because obviously our other brick will be coming this way, and once again you won't see the lugs in the mortar joint. So remember, the other half of that brick, we can spin it 90 degrees anywhere in the house, or we can lay it into an internal corner. We could also butt it in to when we're going into another cladding type, for example, a weatherboard or linear board or anything like that there. This product can also, this half of the brick can also be used in that area. Other areas can be used is going into a gable, thinking about when we're cutting the brick on a 45 and things like that. These here can be super useful to be used in that point. So when we're cutting down like this, obviously we're only chucking away that side, and it can all still work. So those are just a couple of small tips. Rather than throwing away this other area of the brick, we can use that in multiple areas. Same thing goes as if on a house you're laying it and you're going to have a split brick, a split cut. So for example, if we're going to 2-4 stud and we work at a gauging at, for example, 10 mil, and we're not going to end up with a full brick at the top, obviously what we can do is cut the brick in half this way, and then with the side that's got all the lugs on it, we can use that on the bottom course, top course, with the lugs falling into the mortar joint so you don't see it as well. So trust that's helpful and will help to reduce waste on site. So main thing to remember is don't throw away the other half of the brick for the sake of it. There's plenty of places on the house where it can be used. Internal corners, butting into other claddings, or simply by spinning it 90 degrees. Trust that helps, and all the best. And so one other area that we could use if we were splitting the brick in half, particularly when we're doing sills, for example, so we use the good side to come out on the 15 degree slope for the sill, and then what we can do is use the other lug side, spin it around and lay that up underneath the sill. So that once again we don't have to throw away the bottom half that's got the lugs on it, we can simply use that under the sill size. So normally your sills would run at about a 160 mil, and just if you work at gauging, can't happen in every house, but it can happen on most, so that you don't need to throw away the other half. That can simply be your split under the windowsill. So trust all that helps.